Hey everyone, it's Power to the Masses, and I just wanted to make this quick video because I feel like our country is going down a wrong path. We are taking a different trajectory than what we need to, and I believe that the way that we are going, it is not going to help society advance. It is not going to improve the living conditions of people on the individual level. And I feel like we really need to pause, we need to take a moment, and we need to reflect what happened when it came to the political violence in Charlie Kirk. There is too much division going on, there's too much hysteria going on when it comes to the political sphere, when it comes to politicians creating fear and hatred when it comes to many different groups of people. And what occurred in Utah 2 days ago, what happened was the very result of that polarization, was the very result of the division that has been building up. It has been bubbling up for years and years and years. This is not just a single occurrence. This is something that just keeps happening time after time after time. And I want you guys to realize, I want you guys to understand, to really pause and look at those moments in retrospect. Really use that magnifying glass and say, okay, something is going on. There's more division now than there was before. There's more polarization now than there was before. We are fighting each other, our neighbors. We are meant to fear one another, and that is a problem, and we shouldn't be doing that. But I feel like we have entered echo chambers. We have entered almost as if ruby glasses, a blindfold that many of us have put on each other, where we are just listening to the media. We're listening to one side over another, and when we should be coming together, when we should be unifying, we instead are clashing with each other, where it builds up to an event where people are getting shot, people are getting killed, and that is not how we move about a movement. That is not how you discuss your opinions or how you feel the government should be. That should not be happening, because what we see now, what we have seen, is people are becoming outrageous. They're fighting violence with violence. We saw what happened with some of the HBCUs getting threats after what had occurred in Utah. And again, that should just show you that we are going on a wrong path. This war between the right and the left will not end. This polarization will not end if we continue to listen to these politicians, if we continue to listen to those at the top. It is a problem, and we have to correct that. Because again, as I've said, we will not advance as a human society. Where is the human decency? Where is that, humanity that we should be having, that we should have for each other, that compassion? And yet for some reason it is, and again, I know for many of us, it is almost mechanical. It is almost as if those at the top have manufactured that fear, have manufactured that hysteria, and that is true. But we now have to take the reins. We now have to start using that critical thinking skill and to say, you know what? Enough is enough. Because we can't keep doing this. We can't keep going down this path because we've been doing it for so long. Our parents have been doing it. Our grandparents have been doing it. They've been told, if you put your vote for me, if you follow my beliefs, I will bring stability for you. I will bring a level of comfortability for you. However, no one is comfortable. This era that we're in right now, this hyper reactive echo chamber that everyone is in, we're becoming emotionless. We're becoming detached from the world, from who we are as humanity, what our core values are. And that right there needs to be corrected, because again, as I've said, if we continue to go down this path, if we continue to fight each other, then nothing is, as you've seen, nothing has changed. Our material conditions have not changed. And I want people to understand that what has been happening, the polarization, and again, yes, I do believe Charlie Kirk, he was a symbol of that hatred. He was a symbol of that polarization that got people divided, that got people amped up for certain groups of people. And he did say hurtful things to certain demographics. That was indeed true. And I do believe that he was part of that division. He was part of that polarization. However, shooting him that was not going to do anything. What we should be doing is creating counter narratives. What we should be doing is dissecting that disinformation. We should not be listening to the media that no longer informs, because again, they are controlled by who? The corporates, the 1%, the wealthy, who, what do they want to do? Keep us distracted so that we are not looking at them for the issues that are happening. Because again, they want us fighting each other. They don't want us to bat an eye at the 1%, at the wealthy, at those hoarding that power. And that right there is what I believe is the most important thing. So let us come together. Let us realize who we are, what we can do, and say enough is enough. That this, what happened, this means that we gotta start now. We gotta start today, because this just should not have happened. And there's been a lot of social media going around when it comes to Charlie Kirk, and if we should feel bad for him, this, that, and the third. But I need people to understand that especially when it comes to the Black community, when it came to figureheads such as Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, George Floyd, there was no hysteria. There was no, y'all need to feel empathy, this, that, and the third. There wasn't any of that. And so what people need to understand is some people don't need to have empathy. There shouldn't need, when it comes to the suffering of human beings, when it comes to a systemic issue that has been happening for so long, I think it is okay for certain groups of people to abstain themselves, to not care for what has occurred, to not engage in the discourse of what has been happening. Because again, some of the things he has said were hurtful to people of certain communities. And again, that is a problem. That is an issue. And we should be working together to, again, cut out those hurtful narratives, and to come together and say enough is enough. The polarization is enough. The two-party system, which has been benefiting from our distraction, is enough. That is probably one of the main culprits in what has given us the polarization that we have seen today. So please hear me when I say the time for change is now. The time to look towards that new horizon, and the time to say, the direction we're going into is just going to lead into more suffering. It's going to lead into just more craziness. It's going to lead into an endless ideological war that will not end. You can choose your side. You can choose your people. You can choose the very structures that you feel will give you less comfort, that will give you more comfortability, that will give you less suffering. But they are designed not for us. They are not designed for the common person. They are not designed for the middle and lower class. They are not designed for us. Stop distracting yourself. Realize and become aware of what is truly happening around you. And let's truly bring back power to the masses.